Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram, he's at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking Kenya more. We're talking Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all know why y'all here. Kenya has unleashed. Kenya is in, I think we've reached the different stages of grief and everything, and I think Kenya is in the anger stage. I think first it was the denial, but definitely right now, Kenya is in the anger stage of things when it comes to Bravo. She has heard the podcast or the SiriusXM radio show that Andy Cohen has with a couple of his co-hosts and the comments they made. The one co-host comparing what Kenya did to SA in the post-Me Too era, and Kenya is not happy, y'all. She is not happy, so we're going to get into her comments, and this is courtesy of the Bravo Shade Room, so check out the Bravo Shade Room on the Instagrammies, y'all. They usually are pretty good at keeping up to date of, like, the latest, and this comment we got to get into. So Kenya has heard the clip of what was said on Bravo Andy on the SiriusXM radio show by his co-host, and Kenya says the following. The two, quote, co-hosts are extremely ignorant. S.A. is grape, is R-A-P-E. Whoa, wait, Kenya. S.A. is not just R-A-P-E. There are a lot of different levels of S.A. It can be inappropriate touching. It could be groping. It could be all types of things without somebody's consent. Like there's a lot more under that umbrella of SA, Kenya. Just wanted to make that clear. Remember, that's what Phaedra accused Candy of attempting to do to Portia. Revenge corn? If someone showed Kim K sex tapes to you, is that revenge corn? I found that plus tons of others online. She signed a release, I think referring to, I'm guessing Brett. She signed a release for it, so it is a fair receipt. Warning, if you're not an attorney and familiar with Georgia law, then shut the bleep up. So, since you said that, and since you referenced Phaedra in this, should we contact Phaedra since she is a Georgia attorney? Then Kenya says, sick of the bias and selective outrage. These comments should not have aired. It is a podcast. Where is legal? You don't want activated Kenya? I shouldn't have shown at my event, but for the love of God, oh, let's not do this. Let's not bring Lord, no, don't use the Lord's name in vain. Why would they ignore a clear gun threat? So, I feel like what is happening now, you guys, is I feel like Kenya's responding to the backlash, but I feel like things are getting worse. I feel like we're heading down the Nene trajectory of things, where we're just going to cuss everybody out. We're just going to drag everybody. And I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. We can agree what Britt did was wrong, and we can agree what Kenya did is wrong. But in all of this, it's not about any accountability on Kenya's part. It's about the fact why wasn't this done to Brit? Why was this only done to me? Why are y'all making comments about this? Why isn't more people defending me? Why isn't more people sticking up and standing up for me? But sometimes, y'all, the retaliation is more egregious and is going to get, and here's the thing, Kenya. Brit is a newbie. You have been on this show for over a decade. You know better. And you referencing Rojas Season 9 and RAPE Gate. But then putting up illicit images of another cast member after that, and you think that that was appropriate. And even in this statement, you're saying that you shouldn't have shown it at my event. But you're not saying I shouldn't have shown it at all. Y'all peep that? I shouldn't have shown it at my event. Not that I shouldn't have shown it at all. And I just... Wrong road, Kenya. Wrong road. What is going on? Now, the co-hosts were doing a little too much, I feel, and Andy was not doing anything. He was doing like the silent approval silence, which I don't like. And that's the same nonsense that Carlos King does as well, is like he pretends that like he's being unbiased on a panel, but really like you're pre-producing what you know certain people are going to say, and because it's coming out of their mouth and not yours, you think that you're exempt from the backlash. But ultimately, this is Andy Cohen's show. This is Andy Cohen's radio show on Sirius. But it's giving the doors closed. Because why are we... I just don't understand. And as much as people want to bring up Phaedra, let me say this. Because everybody wants to keep comparing this to Phaedra, comparing this to Phaedra, comparing this to Phaedra. She was off the show for what, 5 or 6 years? She was off the show. She was not able to come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Candy wouldn't allow it, allegedly. But Phaedra never said anything. Phaedra never spoke on anything. Nene chose to sue the network. Kenya is rumored to potentially be suing the network or in legal talks. Potentially. That's the rumor, right? I don't know if she's still pursuing it, but that's the rumor. Phaedra was wrong. Portia was wrong. But guess what, y'all? Phaedra still had a good relationship with the network. And Portia, even after all of her antics and shenanigans, still had a good relationship with the network. So much so that Portia has come back with a production deal to produce and star in and create other programming, whether it's via Peacock or one of the subsidiaries of NBC. Phaedra, they loved because they continued to work with her. They had her on Traitors. They had her on 2 seasons of Married to Madison. And then she popped over onto ABC and did Dancing with the Stars. And is now coming back at the end of this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But what Nene and what Kenya is doing, cussing everybody out, because you're not feeling the backlash, you're not feeling what some of the people are saying, it's not the right move either. It's not the right move. It is not okay. Where is Kenya's people? Does Kenya have a PR team? Does Kenya have somebody in her ear? And this is what I'm talking about, y'all. When we're having people that need to be in your inner circle, in your corner, to tell you, do not say that on the internet. Do not hit the send button. Do not hit the reply button. Do not hit the post button. Sometimes silence is better. But all of this, seeing all this crashing out, it's not a good look. And Kenya, yes, you have a right to defend yourself. Absolutely, the co-host was wrong in what the co-host was saying. However, there seems to be some issue at hand here of the nature of how these images even got obtained regarding Brit. Whether or not it was publicly available still seems to be up for debate. People still seem to not be able to find it. 1 minute you're saying you hired a private investigator, you hired somebody to research. So that would indicate to me if you hired somebody, then it wasn't readily available. Because one press of the button on X, and literally you could be searching for something positive or something about a TV show or something about celebrity news or whatever, and still corn comes up, you guys. Corn comes up all the time on X, and it has nothing to do with what you are searching for. And even with that being said, people still have not found Brit Eadie's alleged whatever. So where is it? It has gone on nearly a year. This was filmed back in June of 2024. And so now finally the episode has aired, and Kenya's mad. Kenya is pissed. Like, this just got filmed the other day. But I don't think Kenya is happy with the reaction. And I don't think she is happy with Andy Cohen's podcast. Now, this is going to be interesting because, you know, Andy has certain close relationships with some of these housewives, with some of these Bravo celebrities. But my problem with Andy is the same thing as with Carlos King, is y'all don't treat everybody the same. Y'all allow people, y'all don't care what some people do, how far some people go, if you have a personal relationship with them, or if it's against somebody you don't really care for. But if it's somebody that you do not care for, and they go too far, or they do multiple things, or you're looking for anything to have a reason for Bravo to cut ties with them, for Bravo to fire them, you're sitting there on mute. You're on the mute challenge. And now all of a sudden you want to be on this moral high ground. My thing is keep the same energy across the board for everybody. But that's why I always reference Tamra from Real Housewives of OC and Naked Wasted. When people bring up Phaedra's, what she did on Real House Season 9, I was like, she's not the first. It's happened with Tamra Judge, but she took it a step further, intentionally wanting her co-star Gretchen to basically be completely inebriated, under the influence, so that she could be taken advantage of. Someone could take advantage of her, and they could present it as she was quote-unquote cheating and being a SLUT, while her man was sick in the hospital. That is some low-down, trifling behavior. But I'm saying all that to say that, Bravo never keeps the same energy across the board. But I am confused as far as Kenya. Like what are we trying to do right now? What are we trying to achieve right now with this post, with this response? What are you expecting or anticipating to happen? Is what I want to know. Can somebody let me know? What are we achieving now? Now that we're in the anger phase and we're cussing everybody out phase, what is the end goal you are hoping to achieve at this point, Kenya? Can somebody let me know in the comments? Let me know what y'all think. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time I post content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.